All right, we're getting straight into the video to try and keep it as short as possible. So we're starting with the first of the 3 items I'm going to use today. And that is this one, which is the Mineral Veil primer, which everyone has heard of. I mean, it's a cult now, isn't it? I've heard all sorts of praises from when I went to the event, 2 people talking about it. So we're just going to try. And you notice this is a small size. They do like a travel size and a 50 ml and then another a bigger one. So this one is £20, which is still expensive, cost more than other primers, which have got more in content itself. But it is Hourglass after all. Broad spectrum SPF of 15 is included in there, which looks white. And when you've got SPF in there, usually I'm like on dark skin. Okay, so it's like a runny kind of liquid. And I'm going to take my exposure off so you can see. Yeah, so that makes me very, very nervous. Very nervous. So I'm just gonna squirt a little bit more, and I think it's one of those where you're gonna have to spend quite a bit of time really rubbing so that you don't end up and warm it up, so you don't end up with it looking white on your skin if you are dark skin. Yeah, well, I think I remember that's what they told me. So I'm just gonna rub that in. Oh, look at that. I'm not, no. Okay, rub a bit more then. Maybe I warmed it up enough. That's definitely not what I want from a primer. Well, this looks a bit better, but you can still see that there is a difference. It makes huge claims. My hands are very cold. Autumn is coming, winter's coming, and I am actually dreading it because as they change color and unfortunately I lose circulation, and then at some point they become completely and utterly useless, and they just literally freeze like this, and then I'm stuck and I can't use them. So I have to work around when my hands are not working. Ridiculous. About the things you get used to. Not I'm complaining, but you can see there is actually a veil. So it's got mineral veil, but it does seem to be leaving a veil on my skin that I don't like. I personally can't see any reduction in my pores. But yeah, so that's mixed in. And I'm just going to do a bit of color correction and do my non-existent eyebrows. And then we can then apply the foundation, which is I'm dreading because I can tell it's not quite perfect, despite the girls at the counter, Hourglass counter and beauty event, trying to convince me that it was perfect. And I don't think I'm not quite right. But see you back in a mo. Righty, okay, so, I just realised. Is there something missing on my face? Colour correction. Do you know what? I'm going to bypass it. I can't be bothered. I told you guys, I'm a scatterbrain. Anyway, so I can't, so I'm just going to have to highlight into, not highlight it, yeah, highlight my face into oblivion. So there it is. And the colour I've got is chestnut. And as I said, I don't think this is quite the right shade. Honestly, I don't. Right, as you can see, maybe, but I don't know. I don't know. To be honest, the foundation that I wanted, which is the seamless one. You see that? That's not right. And as to the mineral veil, well, I don't know. Not particularly impressed with it, to be honest. It's watery. It leaves a white cast on my face. Admittedly, if my circulation on my fingers had been going better, my fingers would have been a bit warmer. So perhaps that would have helped to allow it to blend it into the skin a bit more. But having said that, still. I'm not particularly impressed, to be honest. I know everyone has been singing this praises. Right, they do say to recommend to use it with their brush. I do not buy their brush. It's not the cheapest. So I'm going to use this Zahiva pointed defined buffer brush, which is quite good. It's nice and thick. And yeah, so let's start brushing outward. Okay. So it's a little bit too red. There's too much red in this, but it blends in nicely. Yeah, there's a lot of red in this one. Yikes. I'm definitely gonna need to bring a bit more yellow into my face. So we'll just see what this looks like when I'm finished with it. Voila, that part is done. With regards to the foundation itself, it glides and is really smooth. It is best for you to use it after putting it on your face and allowing it to warm up a bit, because that really makes a huge difference to how you apply it. Even by their recommendation to say a brush, I would actually agree that a brush is better than a sponge. And you need a nice soft, about really thick brush, and this one works just fine. The Zohiva Definer Buffer brush, number 103, that works fine for me. And it's a lot cheaper than the Hourglass foundation, the Hourglass brush as well. And what else? You will need to color correct with this, because although it's not obvious there, I can still see some discoloration. So although it covers really well, you would need some color correction before you apply this foundation. But it is smooth. It is blending in. It was a slightly bit shiny, but it's actually blending in nicely now. So the shine is going. So that, I think that sort of mattifies a bit in time. It's not so bad. I'll finish off the rest of my face, apply the lipstick in front of you guys so we can have a first impression, because I have no idea what it's like. It's my first Hourglass lipstick, and we'll take it from there. Okay, nice and simple. I'm keeping it simple, just popping out just a little bit of color. My eyes, no falsies. I hardly ever use those things. And yeah, so we're now going to try the lipstick. Woo, there it is. It is Hourglass after all. I'm going to take the exposure off again so you can see this baby. Very innovative, as you guys know, with Hourglass stuff. They are quite innovative, and I do like that about them. Okay, so you just pull that, and there we have it. The shades that I've got is it's called When I'm With You. So it was like a purpley. Oh, I love this shade. Oh, let's see how opaque it is and how many coats it needs. I've got no lip liner because I want to test it out first. Oh, it is butter soft. Okay. And I overlined my lip. It is butter soft. Look at the color. It's so pigmented. I am liking this. I'm liking this. This is lovely. Anyway, I'll perfect it off camera. You don't need that, but you just need to see that the pigment is so nice. This came out, it looks a lot brighter on camera than it is. So I'm going to use a lip liner anyway, and then pop out, and then we're just going to see how long this foundation and primer put together works for. It's not going to be there for the whole day. It's just going to be for about 5-6 hours, to be honest. I'm filming today on a Monday, the same day I'm going to have to edit and so on and upload. So that's why apparently I can't actually leave it for longer. I don't necessarily think that this is one of those foundations that needs to be left for longer, because it did not claim to be a mattifying foundation. Therefore, to be fair, it isn't, you know, it's not fair to actually treat it that way. If it had been a mattifying foundation, then a longer period of testing would have been fairer. Hey, good evening. It is now 18:33. So I've had this on for about 5 hours and a little bit. And as you can see, it's not bad. It's not the most oiliest I've ever been. However, so based on that, actually, I would recommend this. This is going to be a yes or no for me. And let me just go through each one of the products that I used. First of all, the primer. Genuinely speaking, not for me. Because it left, despite rubbing it, and yes, I know that I've got a problem with being able to get heat on my fingers and so on, but I did rub it for quite a bit. and it still left a white kind of cast on my face that I did not like, which I felt actually affected somehow or aided in my foundation looking a bit more cool tone, and I'm definitely not cool tone. Again, it wouldn't be obvious to the camera, but honestly I could actually tell the difference, and I didn't like that. And I know that it's got it's got titanium and zinc oxide and to protect the skin. So because it was kind of white, pure white and runny, it wasn't for me. I'm sorry, but this didn't do it for me. And the idea of it minimizing pores, I didn't actually see anything at all. There are other primers where I can actually tell that they've made a difference, so I didn't feel that. Extending the durability of your makeup, probably because you can see the face is not actually super oily, it's not dripping in oil, which can happen, and also naturally derived titanium. That no, it's so basically not massive, huge amount of claims, but I don't agree with it. The mineral veil, and I don't no, not for me. It just I didn't like the look of it on my skin. I really didn't like the coloring it gave me. I just didn't like it. No. So, but you make up your own mind. Next one is the Vanish foundation, which is, to be honest, look at that. That's not the worst. This is not bad at all, considering I've not touched up my face at all, not once. But it's been only 18 degrees in the UK. So today, and so it's not been a hot day for me to be able to test it. However, despite that, I am actually now starting to get really aware that I've got this foundation on my face, especially around my nose, which makes it very, very uncomfortable. It's making me feel as if my pores are clogged up and that they can't breathe, and I don't like it, and I can't wait to get rid of this, which is why I did not stay, keep this foundation on for much longer. I want to get rid of it. So yes, it has got some good aspects to it. If you have got dry skin, this would be a brilliant foundation for you to have. Honestly, it really would be. It is super soft, it's buttery soft on your skin. It is hydrating, and I think if you combine the primer and this, and you have got dry skin, you'd be a happy person. But for me, as a very, very, very oily person, on a not so hot day, feeling the foundation on my face, and I just feel like going, and it's not a nice feeling. I don't like it. Shocker, I don't like it. I'm such a picky person. But also what's aided in that decision is because this is not actually my shade. It really doesn't look that obvious when I look in camera, but honestly it isn't. There's too much of it red, and it's almost like a cool red, and I don't like it. And the more oily I get, the more obvious it becomes. And honestly, now I can see and I can see different shades from my face. So I wouldn't necessarily go for this, and this was the best color match they had for me. So there wasn't anything better at all. This was it. So that's why I wouldn't actually go back and purchase this again, because you've got to take into account the expense, and also the fact that the color is not quite right, and the fact that I'm super oily, and the fact that after 5 hours I'm feeling uncomfortable with it. For me personally, I wouldn't get it, but I think this is perfect, as I said, for somebody with dry skin. You would actually love this foundation. So that's that. And now with regards to the lipstick, hell yeah. I've drunk, I've had something to eat, and it hasn't gone anywhere, and it doesn't feel clogged up, it doesn't feel heavy on my lips, and it hasn't built up a line at all. It is super buttery soft, it is moisturizing. I absolutely love the formula. Clearly it is super pigmented. I didn't go over and over and over and over again to try and make sure that everything's opaque and my whole lips all my lips are covered evenly. So I am definitely going to be buying these babies, and I know there's not much in there. I mean, come on, there's quite a bit in there, but this is £28 once you get the first initial one. And then you've got the other ones, which I believe might be around £22 or thereabouts. I'll put the information once I check. You'll be able to see it, they pop up. But I am going to get the other shades as well, because what you do then is just get the refill, and which you can then slot in there, take that one, twist it, take that off, replace it with the next color shade that you've got, and that's that. So yeah, I absolutely love it, and it's innovative, and it doesn't look a little bit posh. Anyway, so that's my conclusion. 1 out of 3 is not too bad, is it? It could have been 0 out of 3. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope that you find today's video useful. Let me know what you think, whether it's worked for you fantastically, and whether you used any particular ways of applying it, or whether you've tried it and it was like, ooh, no. I'm sounding more like a dog now. Oh.